Welcome, everybody. This is BizChicks TV, the place to be for tips and tools to help you do business better, to help you take the hassle out of your hustle, and to build a profitable business that's fun to run. And today and every Tuesday, we have Terry Johnson from Terry Johnson Online and Attention Necessary to bring us what we need to know to stay in the know in social media and digital marketing. And today we're talking about that, it's coming, GDPR. What you need to know, how to get there, how to be compliant. So Terry Johnson, thank you so much for being here.
Well, welcome everybody. I'm glad you're here. To the live viewers, hello. Glad you're here. Please let us know if you can see us and hear us properly. Just, put something in the chat or whatever, say hi and whatever. Replay viewers, welcome. We're glad you're here because you could have been anywhere else. So we're glad you're here watching the replay. But of course, you can also join in on the conversation because we want to know your questions, your thoughts, your opinions, your comments, whatever you have to say. Please let us know. Put them in the chat area and we'll address them after the show. Also, we will be talking to the live people in the show. So if you can, make it live because it's more fun when we have all the live people here and we've got opinions flying in and questions and things going back and forth. So we are glad you're here. So also share this out to your feed, to your profile, so you can bring more people to the party and they get more information. So that's the basis of this. We're giving out information and a discussion, information that you need to know in order to run your business. And like Fran said, you want to have a business that's fun to run. So that's number one. Okay, so that's why we're here. So thank you all for watching. And we're going to get right into it because I'm pretty sure you've heard these four letters, GDPR, which is, let me get this right, is General Data Protection Rules. Now, we talked about this 2 weeks ago, and I said that we were going to revisit it because these new rules that govern data collection and privacy policies online are going to go in effect on May 25th, which is Friday. So I've seen a lot of flurry of emails. I've gotten emails from MailChimp and other places. I've seen people talking about it. There's someone doing a live stream Thursday that I want to check out. I think her name is Stephanie Liu. May Anna from Blog Aid has been talking about it all month. And I want to stop here and say, please follow her on Facebook and YouTube. Her website is blogaid.net. She's on Facebook as Blog Aid, and she's on YouTube as Blog Aid. And I'm saying that because she's been doing like nonstop everyday live streaming about GDPR. And Blog Aid is a website for people who have WordPress websites, and she goes into WordPress compliance and developing and websites. So she's very, very, very knowledgeable. Now, I'm going to give you a heads up. She's very technical. So if you're not technical or you don't want to get into the technical, but you should know a little bit about it. Even if you have a webmaster or someone that does your website for you, you should know a little bit about your website. So she goes into real detail, and it's interesting. She's technical, but it's interesting because she has her own personality, which I love because she does all kind of crazy stuff, and I love her accent. I love it. So follow her, Blog Aid, on Facebook. Blogaid.net is her website, because I'm going to be referencing a lot of stuff that she's been saying. And she goes in, she's one of those people that she will dig into a topic and she will dig and get to the bottom of it, because she's got to get the information and fine tune it for her people, the people that follow her in her group and her membership her membership site. So she's got to be knowledgeable, and then she's got to distill it and turn it into words where people who may not be on the level as she is, that they can understand it. So I want everybody to follow her. Okay. So she, like I said, she's been going into GDPR for the last 2 weeks maybe. So she's got some good videos. I'm going to put some link on in the group and on my page so you can find her website. So now the GDPR, remember we talked about it, it's the rules that are coming out from the EU, which is the European Union, and it involves a lot of countries. I'm going to run them down real quick. Austria, Belgium, Bulgaria, Czech Republic, Cyprus, Denmark, Estonia, Finland, France, Germany, Greece, Hungary, Iceland, Ireland, Italy, Latvia, Liechtenstein, Lithuania, Luxembourg, Malta, Netherlands, Norway, Poland, Portugal, Romania, Slovakia, Slovenia, Spain, Sweden, and the UK. Also, they're saying that Norway and Iceland is a part of that, even though they have a little separate thing, but they're included in this privacy rules that is set up for European citizens. And what this is, and you can say, okay, well, we're in the United States. What do we have to do with that? Well, if you have a website, if you're running ads, if you have an app, anything where you're collecting data online, which data means IP addresses, cookies, analytics, and what did I leave out? Email addresses. If you're collecting any of that on your site, whatever you're doing online, it affects you. Even if you say, well, I don't have any people from Europe coming to my website, do you know? Have you looked at the analytics? If you use Google Analytics, you can go in and see where your visitors are coming from. So even if they're coming over to visit and they're not signing up or anything, you're still bound by their rules. And this is what we're talking about. So I want to stop and say, I'm not a lawyer. We're not lawyers. Mariana also says she's not a lawyer, but this is just information that we're finding out online from online sources, and we're refining it and distilling it into what do you need to know to be GDPR compliant. And this is the thing that she said, and I said also, this is new. So we're still figuring out rules. We're still figuring out what to do. It's kind of like everybody's running around the first day of school, trying to figure out what class to go to, and I'm gonna be late for this. You may be late for the deadline, but at least you're gonna get the information that you need. So she ran down some basic, like, this is the minimum you need. If you have a website, this is the minimum you need. So I want to go over that, but I still want you to watch her stuff on her website because she's really, really good. Now, do you have to worry that the EU police is gonna come and knock your door down? That's not going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen. That's the key. But the thing is, we have to pay attention to this topic because, one, you've seen it in the last week I have, where this is all these articles going on and on and on, and you have to know and be aware. So that's the key here. We wanted to give the basics of these are the two things you must have. There's more, but these are the two things that you may want to have by Friday, if you can get it by Friday. And I think you can. It's just two pieces. But she goes into the minimum. So we can talk about the minimum. So the minimum that she's recommending, remember, she's not a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer. You have to, do the work of specifically for your business. If you have a lawyer, if you have a legal team or whatever, please consult them. Also, remember that if you're doing any third-party vendors, they have to be compliant also. So you're gonna have to have a conversation with them and find out if they are GDPR compliant. And this has to do with data, with personal data, and I'm gonna go into that a little bit. But the minimum she's recommending, and we said this before, I said privacy policy. You can no longer skate by without having a privacy policy. And a privacy policy is simply a statement of what you do on the website and what you collect and what you do with the information you collect. Okay, and there are several places you can go and get a privacy policy done. It's just text on it's just another web page on your website, but it has to be linked to every page. So I've seen them where and I think I have one, or if I don't, I'm in the same boat too, so I have to get my stuff together. But your privacy policy has to be in every page. So if you're using WordPress, you can put it in your footer. And you know, when you use WordPress or any of these database based websites, they will, you can put, there's a file that will replicate on each page as you make it, and you don't have to worry about it. So your privacy policy, it'll just be a link at the bottom, or wherever you decide to put it. I seen it at the bottom, and it'll say privacy policy. And when the user clicks on it, they'll go to it, and it will open up this page, and it says privacy policy for website. And this is what we do. This is the information we collect. This is what we do with it when we collect the information. Where do we store it? Now, you may have a privacy policy already. Excuse me. And you may have a privacy policy already in place, but you have to update it, because you have to have one that's GDPR compliant. And it's going to have some of that GDPR information in there, which is, you know, the data you collect. What do you do with it? You have to give the user, the visitor that visits your site, an option to contact you and have that information removed. And you have to remove it and let them know. So that's kind of like the basic stuff that you have in there. So the privacy policy is your statement of rules. Think of it as it's not quite your terms of service, but it is, this is what we do when you come to my site. I do X, Y, Z. I don't collect this. I do collect that. And this is what I do with it. And this is where you can contact me to get it removed. That's pretty much basically it. So the other thing you need is a cookie policy. And we talked about that. So the cookie policy, I had an example. Hold on, that I wanted to show. Let me see if I can bring it up. Sorry, guys. I thought I had this pulled up. So are there any questions while I'm...
I have no questions. I just want to say thank you. We have a couple people watching. Revel is watching. Long time no see. Revel, glad to have you here. And Don Robinson has joined us over on, both of them are on the Facebook page. So thank you for tuning in. And for the viewer on YouTube, thank you for tuning in. This is some good information you really need to know. It's important, especially because I know Don does things that are global with his business. So it's really good to make sure that we get your site compliant. And if you're, and TJ will explain too, if you're using a third-party website or something to that nature, they should be keeping you compliant.
Right. Now, while I'm doing this, I will say that if you're doing email, if you're doing email, which means you have an email list set up and you have a page or a funnel to put people in, and you're using an email service provider like MailChimp, Drip. I had a whole list. Hold on. Okay, MailChimp, Aweber, Constant Contact, Infusionsoft, Drip. ConvertKit is, I think there's one Active something. Those are like the top ones that you hear about people talking about. And they should have sent you something already, or they should have talked about, this is GDPR, this is what you need to know, this is what you need to add to your forms in order to be compliant. MailChimp, I've seen the emails from them, and they have some tools. So when you click on the email, it takes you to their website, and they have lots of information on what you need to do. So there should be some guidance if you're doing email. And most of us are doing, the email collection with an opt-in, with a freebie, a ebook, a checklist, whatever you're giving them. Because some people do just, sign up for my newsletter. With that, you can just have your opt-in box. There'll be some check marks there that should be unchecked. You can't pre-check them. That's another key to this. You cannot arbitrarily opt them into something. They have to click on the check mark to opt then themselves, but you will put the options there. So MailChimp did send me some information about that. Okay, this is what you do. You don't have them pre-checked. They have to check them themselves. So you need to check with your email marketing, your email service provider, and I listed a few. MailChimp is one of the popular ones. I know a lot of people use Aweber. So I'm not sure what the other ones are doing, but I know that MailChimp did send me an email. All right, I'm trying to bring this.
So it's good, and the better providers are going to help you.
Yes. Even if you're using MailChimp, if you're using the free, because MailChimp has the free version, they're still going to help you.
Yep. They will put the information where you can get it in your hands and get you through it. And see, change always happens in business. So this is one that you have to stop and reset to make sure that you're compliant, so your business will thrive and continue to thrive.
Right. So I have, I'm trying to, I hope we can see this. I can't see it, but I'm going to put it up on the screen. It should be there now. It says, this is a page from MailChimp. It says GDPR tools are here, updated forms, improved contact management, and more. And if you can see at the bottom, I don't know if it's clear. It says, hold on. I want to read it. It has the cookie policy on the bottom. I want to read it. I'm trying to get it to come up on my screen. I can't see it on my screen. There it is. It says, we use cookies to offer you a better browsing experience, analyze site traffic, personalize content, and serve targeted advertisements. Read about how we use cookies and how you can control them by clicking cookie settings. If you continue to use this site, you consent to our use of cookies. Now, this wording is key. It's very key, because it says that you are, we use cookies. This is what they're saying. They're saying we use cookies, and this is how we use them. And if you don't want to browse our site, if you don't want to visit our site, you can refuse to browse. But then on the other side of that, you may not see what you came to see. And now the cookie, it sounds like, and I've seen places where they say, oh, cookies are bad. It's just a little bit of code that JavaScript has, and it just tracks information. It's not anything bad. It's not, oh, it's the evil empire from Star Wars or whatever. It's not that. It's just simply a little bit of code that tracks basic information. So there's nothing for you to get upset about or worry, or, I've seen those, I've seen places where, and websites where they're like, oh, cookies are bad, JavaScript is bad. But some of these things, these little things are needed in order for, Jason, is the stream locked up? Is it just me? Jason says, is the stream locked up, or is it just me?
I think we're good.
And websites where they're like, oh, cookies are bad, JavaScript is bad. But some of these things, these little things are needed in order for feedback. Is that me?
No, that's not you.
Jason? Oh, okay.
Nope, it's not you.
I hear myself talking. Just me.
That's because I went.
Oh, Jason, that was a screenshot of a cookie example of a cookie policy notification at the bottom with MailChimp. I think he came in while I was showing the screen and he didn't see us on the screen.
Yes.
I think that's what happened. But that was an example of the cookie pop, and it's just a simple little pop-up. There's another cute one that I wanted to bring up. But if you go to the nextweb.com, oh, Jason said it was him. Okay, sorry. If you go to the next web, is it the nextweb.com? I think it's the nextweb.com. And they have a really cool one of a guy with a cookie on his eye. And I think that one is it's cute, but it gets the attention. So as soon as you get to the website, it pops up and they're saying, listen, we use cookies and we're letting you know that we use cookies. So here it is, that's basically what they're saying. So they're doing it in like a cute kind of way. And I did have it. I wanted to bring it up for you. Let me see if I can get that. Oh, there it is. Let me. I wanted to get. It's too big. Oh boy, now it went away. Let me see. Hold on. Sorry, guys.
Oh, no, take your time. Because I'm back here playing with stuff. I'm trying to put this out over there. So just take your time.
All right, there it is. It says, so you'll see on the screen, it should pop up. I got a delay on Facebook, but it says, have a cookie. It's a guy with a cookie on his eye. Do you see it? It says, have a cookie. The next web uses cookies to personalize content and ads to make our site easier for you to use. We do also share that information with third parties for advertising and analytics. And there's a big red button that says got it, which is your consent, that you say, hey, you can track me with the cookie. Now, some people don't like it, and you've heard it with Facebook, that the cookie tracking and the ads following you around. This is a part of it. This is how they do it with the cookies and JavaScript, that when you create an account on a website to sign in, it makes it easier for you to log in. It makes it easier to remember the last place that you visited in that website. That's what the cookies are about. Because if you go and clear your cookie cache in your browser, the next time you go to a website, say if you go back to Facebook or whatever, it's going to ask you to log back in, because you just cleared all of the things that made it easier for you to interact with that website. Is an easy way to put that.
Could you put that image back up one more time? I want to make sure the people on YouTube gets it.
All right, hold on. All right, there we go. So I just thought that was a really cute one, because I've seen some that are just straight, like the MailChimp one is straight text, and it's just a little blue pop-up, and I think, it's popping up, but some people are going to ignore that, whereas this one, that is the guy with a cookie, and the kind of tongue-in-cheek kind of way that they do it, I think it's fun. It's just, and you got to have fun with this, because some of this stuff is just technical and boring, and you want to have something where people are standing out and they go, oh, okay, that's your cookie policy. Or, oh, that's your privacy policy. So you can have fun with it. It's not all, the rules police. You don't have to do that.
Yeah.
But you can have fun with it, because you want to get the attention and you want to make it memorable so they know. So like I just said, I remember going to thenextweb.com and their little cookie thing popping up, because I remember it. Now, if it's something else that's just text, I'm not going to remember that. It's not. Visuals always trump the text. So, but you don't have to do that. You could just simply have a little pop-up saying, okay, we use cookies, and, if you want to keep using the site, you have to consent, and you put an okay. They put okay, and you click okay, and nothing happens. It's just you go into the website. So you have to give your consent. So these are the two minimum things. The privacy policy, which is what data you gather and how you collect it. You let people know how they can opt out. You just, like you can put an email, if you want to opt out of my newsletter or opt out of whatever, this website, here's an email to request it. And then you have to, if they request it, then you have to remove it and tell them that you removed it. This is all part of, what's coming up, the GDPR. And like I said at the beginning, we've been coasting along without one. There's no police coming to knock on your door. This is all new. We're just getting started, so we don't know what is going to happen. We don't know if, you're going to get a notice in the email or a notice in the mail. You don't know if you're going to get a fine. We don't know any of that stuff yet. This is it's not even in place yet. We're getting ready for Friday, and then we'll see what happens, because people have, the privacy policy, the cookie policy. Some people have gone beyond and, contacted a lawyer and gotten things drawn up with GDPR rules that they know what to put in. And again, remember, this is EU, European Union rules to protect their citizens, their data of their citizens. And if you have a website, or if you're doing ads or anything that they come across and they want to opt in, like with the email, then you have to have this information in place. And there's much more than these two things. But like I said, Blog A, I watched one of her videos, the latest one. She said that this is the minimum. And like I said, this is new. We don't know what's happening. We don't know what's going to happen on Friday. We really don't know. We'll know when Friday gets here. We'll know what is going to go into place. So this is for information. This is for you to pay attention, to be aware of. This is what's happening in the world now. And I've gotten a lot of emails from, people I'm on their email list, and they send me emails saying, oh, if you still want to get emails from me, opt back in or reply. That's the GDPR in effect, because with your email service system, you have to get their consent again. I've seen a lot of emails saying, we're cleaning up our list. If you respond to this email and say yes or whatever, that you're saying that you want to stay on the list. That's a part of GDPR also, because now you have to get consent from the people that are already on your list again.
Yeah, and you should be getting it from almost everybody where you are. Almost everybody that whatever list you happen to be on should be sending you something.
You should. I've seen a lot of emails, and people have worded it creatively. They haven't said this is the GDPR rules, and you must have. I've seen one that said, "Oh, I haven't sent an email out in a while, and I'm just checking to make sure that you want to be on the list." I've seen, and that's GDPR in the background, because you have to reconfirm.
And I think it's a good idea. I like the way that was put, so it doesn't put everybody on high alert, like, oh my God, what is going on? It just tells them, oh, and then you make a decision at that time. Do I still want to be there or not?
Right. Are we okay? I'm seeing something funny on my page. Hold on, let me check.
I see you well. I don't see anything over here on Facebook. It looks good to me.
Okay, maybe it's just me. I'm just checking to make sure that you guys can see us and hear us. It could just be my computer. What were we saying? Well, the emails are coming out. You'll see creative. Okay, Jason says look good. Thank you, Jason. I'm glad you're here. Thank you. So I've seen lots of emails where I'm going, wait a minute, why are they asking me to reconfirm that I want to be on the list? And some have been really creative. Like I said, someone was like, oh, I haven't emailed you in a while, and I'm just making sure that you want to be on my list. If so, click this or respond. They have a call to action. Click this link. Respond with yes. Simply respond, whatever it is. But that's them reconfirming you on the list, because after the 25th, everybody has to get that information. People, and I mean everybody, could be business owners, website, an e-store, e-commerce store, whatever you got going online, and you have their email address, you must reconfirm that they want to be on the email. And that's it. So you be creative with this. Don't go, oh, well, this is, we got the GDPR rules coming out on Friday. And, be nice and, honey, sweetness, talk to them conversationally, like if you're having a party on Friday, you call them up. I know you said that you were coming last week, but I'm calling to reconfirm, or, sending a text or what. That's what you do. Remember, everything online has to flow naturally in conversation. Just talking to people. That's the real simple part of this. So no need to get, like I said, we're still learning. News is still coming out. If there are people that are still, they're going, we don't know until Friday. But here's some tools. So MailChimp has said, oh, here's some tools. Read this. Give some information. You read up and find out what you need to know. So like I said, I follow Blog Aid, and she's been doing live streams just about all day. Well, not all day, every day this week, and I think last week. But she was saying her last video, she said, after all the information she read and the research and the digging, that the minimum for us in the United States is to have a cookie policy, which was a good idea anyway, and a privacy policy, which is a great idea anyway, because there are several states that have laws that say your website must have a privacy policy. California is one of them.
Yep.
I believe the other one is Texas. I want to say Texas. I'm not sure. But there's a couple other states.
Yeah, you just don't.
Did you know that? A lot of people didn't know that. I have some clients, they didn't know that. Like, why do I need a privacy policy? Because if someone from California visits your site, which is more than likely, someone will. It's a big state, lots of people. They're going to find your website or visit it or whatever. You've got to have that privacy policy. So this is the bigger rollout of that in case someone from one of those countries I listed happens to find your site, you got to have that privacy policy there in case they opt in or sign up for your newsletter. You never know, because everything is global now. Just because you live in, if you live in Texas, you live in Houston, or wherever you live in the United States, you think, well, only people in the United States are visiting my website, and that's not true. That's not true. So when you look at your analytics, and if you use Google Analytics, it's there. Demographics, it will tell you this many people from this country, that it tells you, it has a map and everything. So the analytics will tell you, and you have to have these rules in place, because if you're using Google Analytics, which is a good thing, there's nothing bad about it. It's just that all of this privacy talk that started out with Facebook and all of the hearings, people are a little on edge about data and using data and what are you doing with it. When 9 times out of the 10, they're probably not doing anything bad. Like, they're using Google Analytics, because that, as a website owner, it tells you where people are coming from, what time of day they're using your website, what pages they're visiting, you know, what they're searching for. All that information is there. So it's a good tool that Google has. It's just the fact that now we have to inform people, and that can make some people a little jumpy, a little jittery. But we got to get over that and say, listen, you're on the web, you're online, you're using the app. This is the cost of free.
Oh, this, and here's the thing, you have responsibilities on the web now.
Yeah.
You can't be willy-nilly.
No, those days are gone. We got a lot of changes in 2018. It started with Facebook and this, you know, they're focusing on friends and family connections only with the news feed. That threw everybody for a loop. And, oh, small businesses, you know, well, you got to do the work now if you got a Facebook page. If you're a business owner, you got to do more work. Then we had the Facebook Cambridge Analytica data not breach, data misuse, and that got everybody in a frenzy. And, you know, so we've had a busy 2018 as far as like online stuff, but it's always been there. You just never paid attention to it because you're using the app for free and there's no cost. So, but there is a cost in the fact of that they're using your data. They're using little bits of information about you or a larger, you know, picture of you and what you're doing. So we have to get used to it, because from here on out, that's what it's going to be. They're not going to stop using your data, because it's so big of an industry and it's so lucrative, and a lot of companies are making money off of it. It's just the fact that now we're getting in line with people have to be ethical about the use of the data. And that's what this is about. Being above board, out front. When you come to my website, when you do this on my thing, my property, my entity that I own online, this is what I'm going to collect on you.
And this reminds me of like when the video cameras first came out. Everywhere you went, they had to tell you that you were on camera. That, you know, like, smile, you're on camera. They put it in their stores or whatever. They had to notify you that your image was being shown.
Right.
So, you know, and first, you know, people were like, oh no, okay. But now we just go to the store, sit at the traffic light, whatever it is.
Before we had a smartphone. But now that you have a smartphone, it used to be before that, it was like, why are you taking my picture? You can't take video of people in the street or pictures of people in the street. Now, no one bats an eye. I mean, for some productions, you do have to have you have everybody sign a form and saying you can send, a video. But most of the time, if it's an average person, they're out there, with the selfies, their video, they're using their phone. So no one kind of looks twice at it, but you got to, well, if you when we go downtown, where there's people walking by, you're going to ask all of them, hey, can I get your consent? Now, if you're using it commercially, and Jason could probably talk more about this, that you would probably have to get their consent, I'm thinking, but he can chime in on that. But
because see,
average person,
you may be, the average person, you want to get the consent, like, do you mind if I take your picture? You can do that. But if you see something crazy, maybe you don't take their faces. You understand. There's a way to
option to blur it out. And
yeah, because you just want to be respectful of people's stuff.
Right. But what I'm saying is that the average person walking around with their phone, they're more than likely, if they're recording, say they're in Times Square and they're recording something, they're going to get tons of people.
Yep.
But that's a personal thing. That's like
and you may, how many shots are you in of somebody? You're in the background walking by. I'm like, dude, get out of my shot. But
right. Exactly. So I'm just saying that to explain that we've gotten into this thing, and I remember Mark Zuckerberg said years ago that privacy is not. He said, privacy is not going to be a big deal. Nobody's going to care. And at that time, maybe this was like 7-8 years ago, I want to say, when Facebook first started, and people made such an outrage about it. Like, oh, you're kidding. I'm not going to give up my privacy. You're not going to do this and that. But look at here we are later. People are like, oh, well, yeah, okay, I have to, because you give it up for the convenience. Like if you have one of the voice devices, I won't say her name, Siri, those people, you're giving up some kind of consent because you're getting the convenience of it, the convenience of using it. Because if you have to give consent every time you make a voice command, you're going to get tired, and it doesn't work like that. So you want to give a voice command, do this, do that, set a timer, put something on my calendar. You don't want to have to go through this long list of commands every time you want to do that. So that's what those things are in place, implied consent, because you're using it and you sign in with an account, and all of that stuff is like, okay, I don't worry about it because you put it to the side.
And this is the same thing. Like every time you got to do a update on an app, they're asking you to consent for this. I'm like, didn't I just do this? And I had to log back in.
Right. And Jason said a quick trick is to start the camera rolling, then ask the question so you have it recorded if they say yes. That's a good tip. Thank you.
Yeah. Everybody is what do they call a journalist now?
Yeah, journalist, a media company. You are creating content. When you pull out your phone, like I said, if you're in Times Square and you go, hey, I'm on vacation, Times Square, blah, blah, blah. That's the content. Now, where personal or you put it online, that's the difference there. That's the deal, that you're sharing it with everyone, the world, or you're sharing it with family, or you're sharing it with friends, because you do have the option in Facebook to make lists, and certain people get to see this and certain people get to see that. So but that's on you. The choice is on you, but you're making the content, by saying something or, doing a video, or like the Chewbacca mom, keep going back to that, but she just made a video for her friends.
But it was funny.
Chewbacca mask, and when her friends shared it.
Yes. But it was really funny though, and it was worth the laugh.
It was. But see how about the ease of the consent of it. Because she says, okay, I'm going to post it for my friends, my family, and she just pulls out her phone because she's got a device that does that. It's a studio. Basically, people, it's small. It's not like a news, like NBC News control room, but it's got the base. It's got a camera. You can edit. You can send. All that stuff is on your phone. So we've gotten to the point where the consent is like, okay, I'm never going to consent to this. I'm never going to consent to that. To where, okay, I'm going to just, like you said, when you do an update, but people don't even read the terms. They don't look at the information.
You could be having, you'll give us your firstborn son to do this, and you'll just click through it, and I'm like, read it.
But that's what I mean. That we got to that point where the privacy, people are saying, "Oh, I'm really concerned about privacy," but that's a small subset of the people who are going, well, if I got to answer all 10, 50 questions every time I open Facebook, I'm not using it. So Facebook knows that.
And so I read something, and it was a jab against Facebook, but it really wasn't a jab against Facebook. It's the way that the Android phone is set up. Mm-hmm. The Android phone is set up that every like on the iPhone, you can click once for permissions on the iPhone, right?
Right.
But mm-hmm. on the Android phone, it's each individual thing that is going on. And so Facebook, I guess it was, do you want to give Facebook master access or something, whatever's on an Android phone? I don't have one, so all you Android people will have to clarify that for me.
Android, but I haven't looked. I have an Android tablet. The thing is gathering dust.
And but it asked it for, Facebook clicked in, like when you wanted to use Facebook, it said, do you want to give Facebook, and I believe it was an Insider. I have to remember what article it was, but it was, do you want it to give it master
a blanket
permissions? Right. And so the person was like, oh, they're at it again. No, that's your phone. That's your phone. Because on my phone, it doesn't ask me for that. It asks me, do I want it to let it have the camera or the microphone or the blah, blah, blah. Yours is set up where it has to go blanket or it doesn't get anything.
Right. And see, that's how we get into, the factors of, like, when we have the iPhone, when we do an update, it just, you can set it to do automatically, you can set it to do at night, you can, all of that. And also when you install a new app, it just, like you said, it asks permission for the camera, it asks permission for your photos, and you just kind of blanket, okay, because I need to use the app. So if I want to look at my photos inside of the app, I need to give it permission. People don't think about that. It's just, okay, it's not even a thought anymore. Whereas before, we're like, well, why do you need my camera? Why do you need to look at my phone? Why do you need to listen to this? Because the voice capabilities are so high now that you don't want to do that every time you want to make a voice command with Siri or whatever Google has, or whatever. You don't want to have to keep giving permission every time before you request your voice assistant to do something for you. It eliminates the ease of use of the device. So that's why it's set up that way. You do one time and that's it. And then people don't think about that. So there's kind of like a thing going on where people they say they're concerned and I'm never using Facebook, and people are going, oh, all of the people are going to delete Facebook. They had a hashtag, delete Facebook. And I'm like, you guys are crazy. Give it a week or two, you'll be right back to your old tricks of using the app.
Because you can't, where else are you going to go to connect with your friends and family like you do now?
Yeah. Where else are you going to go? Facebook has some great business tools. I mean, people are putting down Facebook pages, but it's still your best bet to reach people that are outside of your profile. I even heard I was watching a video online or something. They were asking about Facebook and reaching more people. And the answer was, well, do you have a page? That they didn't want to bother they wanted outside of their friends or family or whoever was on their profile. Well, you have a page because that's public. It goes everywhere. So you can post stuff on your page that won't bother your friends and family who don't care. And you use that page, and there's tools to promote it, and there's ads and things to do. So Facebook is giving you all those things, and you want to use them while the price is low, or before they, decide everybody's doing ads. So I heard the price is going to triple. So you want to do all that stuff now with the tools you have.
And here's the thing: think about the price of if you had to go do a radio spot right now or a television spot.
Yeah, or a newspaper. Don't forget the newspaper ads.
Oh, you mean are they still doing those? Okay. even if it was a digital ad with a newspaper or a something, it's going to cost you a whole lot more than Facebook is.
Yep, a whole lot more. I mean, Facebook, you can do $5 or $10. You can get your feet wet. You always want to start with a low amount to feel your way around and go, okay, let me get the hang of it. And then you're going to spend 100, 500, whatever that amount that you go up to. But you always want to start low because the cost is low.
And this is assuming that you have your story straight. This is assuming that you have all of your systems in place before you go, I want to buy an ad, because now what do you want them to do after you purchase the ad? All of that needs to be well thought out before spending the money.
Exactly. So you got to have a post. This is what I was saying earlier about Facebook giving you the business tools. You're going to have a page where you're going to do a post that gets the engagement, that works great. And then you go, oh, I want more engagement because it works so great with the people that like my page already. Let me take this great post and go out and get more. That's where the ads come in. You don't just immediately jump right into the ads. Like I said, you're going to wade in. You're not going to just dive off from the 30-foot cliff.
And then Jason is saying something here, TJ. He said, I just wish my activity of what pages I follow in groups would not show up to everyone that is trying to copy you.
Right. And well, I know what he's saying, that people can see what you're, especially in groups. I saw this in groups, that when I saw someone that posted something really profound or interesting and I wanted to follow that person, when you click on their name, a little window pops up and it tells you the person, all of the groups they're in, the last post. It's a lot of information that comes up. I think you're talking about that, Jason. I've seen that, and it is a little disconcerting, but Facebook wants, everything Facebook does is to keep you in. So if they feel like you and your friends, you're already friends with someone, then your friends are going to see what groups you're in, because that way it gets people into the group or into the page, which then turns into an ad. Everything at the end of the line for Facebook is ad. That's how they get their money.
Now,
they're going to do stuff.
I would like to ask a question. Jason, are you on LinkedIn at all? And I'll tell you why once I see his answer pop up. So TJ, you sent me the graphic and the artwork today for today's show on GDPR, right?
Right.
And so I normally put it on Twitter, which I did, and I put it on our Facebook page, and well, you had already did that. I went over to LinkedIn. I was like, oh, this is a brand new space over here. It was so uncluttered.
Yeah.
It was just a really clean feed, and it was just people talking about their business, and it really wasn't, there was nothing on the left and on the right. It was just straight down the middle. It kind of looked like a Facebook feed, but I was like, wait. And then for me to post up what I needed to post up, so I put this out there with a link for people to come and watch it over on our YouTube page. But it was just a real clean experience. I was like, wait, I'm not, stepping over some, excuse me, and move out the way like this. And there were a lot of people, especially if your network on LinkedIn is substantial.
Right.
So I'm going to go play in that neighborhood a little bit.
He says he is on LinkedIn.
Yeah. So I'm going to go play over there, and I'll bring a report back and let you guys know what's happening. But I was like,
Okay. But I'm glad you mentioned LinkedIn, because and see, I'm going to it on my phone as we're talking, and it says we're updated our terms of service. I gotta opt in. But I see what you're saying with the interface, that it looks like it looks close to Facebook like feed in the app, but it has a cleaner look. And also, this is going to be your place to hang out if you're wanting to do business to business or business with consumers who are business minded, to make your connections. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So instead of Facebook being, well, you're going to get anybody and everybody, LinkedIn is going to be that place where I need to make more business connections. I need to showcase my business more.
Because,
LinkedIn always gets like the last of the list.
But that's because it's the not many business owners or some people don't understand the importance of it. Because Jason doing content, if he's content makers, there are a lot of people on LinkedIn who don't know how to make content.
Oh yeah.
And I would follow. I'm going to go follow him on there once I get off. Once I get a device that I don't have something rolling on. But I was like, oh, and you can have conversations one-to-one with somebody, and there's not a lot of other
and it's
activity.
It's singular in the topics, like it's business.
Yes.
Whereas Facebook is everything, you know.
And the only way I can say it, it is very clean. It's very uncluttered. That's the word I would use. It's uncluttered over there.
And I see some ads, so thinking about ads, think about LinkedIn ads.
Mm-hmm. And they come up like in the feed, just like they do on Twitter.
Right.
And and I think the same rule goes where Facebook has this rule that it should be like 80% image and 20% text.
You can't have too much text on an image. But I'm seeing, and like I said, I always forget about LinkedIn. But now that I'm going in, the ads are looking like posts. And the only way I know it's an ad, it says promoted under the name.
Yeah, Jason, I saw that there are a lot of people are finding a job. But you have to get to the people who are not looking for jobs. That means we're probably going to need to start finding people who are coaches and other people. I see some people who I follow that are coaches and that type of thing. And it's, I guess, the classification of the person that you're looking for, not necessarily the job people.
Okay, I have an opinion about the LinkedIn and finding a job. Yes, when LinkedIn first came out, that's what it was about. But it's evolving slowly into an area, like you said, B2B or B2C business-minded people. And this may be, Jason, for you, this may be the place to jump in while, like you're saying, it's not cluttered, like Facebook. You may get more attention, especially what you're doing. You may get more attention over here because you're looking more B2B. Right? You're more business to business versus business to, everybody that's out there. So you're looking for a clientele that are looking for a certain need, or they have a certain need, or they, you know what I'm saying, Jason? That you may want to start focusing on LinkedIn a lot more, only because of the class that people, I don't want to say class. That's the wrong word. I mean, the people that are there that are centered around a certain topic. Like
yes.
Business. Everybody, when you say LinkedIn, people know right away business.
And now you have to tweak it to what type of business. Coaching, keynote speakers, presenters.
Speakers. Yes, any kind of business that would be receptive to the message that you want to give out of what your business is all about. And you've got to be there all the time. And ads may not be the right thing to jump in. You may just want to be there naturally, organically, like every day, posting something.
I like the idea of the organic, because if you share what you share on Facebook over there, more people, I believe, will
and I got a
respond.
For Jason, because he does a lot of videos in his group, but I would take some of your video and take a little snippet out and put it on Facebook.
On LinkedIn.
On LinkedIn, some little snippet of information, because you have one about some kind of equipment. I can't remember because I'm like, I zoned out because it's so technical. But I'm just saying that the level of expertise that he has, that if he's explaining what this item does, like a little snippet of it on LinkedIn, and do that all the time, and then start connecting with people, because it'll get shared or discovered by companies that are saying, okay, we need a person that does this, this, and this. And then if he's got the right content over there, they're going to discover it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and just put it into, okay, so this is BizChicks thing. Put it in English for the rest of us who don't get the tech talk. Just put it in English and just, hey, here's a tip on da 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 da, and then have 3 points, and just give us some stuff and come in consistently. Where, oh, okay, Jason's gonna give me something today. You understand?
Right. And there's gonna be businesses or someone who works for a business, or that's their job within a corporation, to say, I need someone that does this, and you already doing the video there. And it doesn't have to be the whole thing. It could be, you can take something that you already got, that you got a little snippet of, okay, this is the thing, and it does this and it does that, and it gives you better quality, video quality, or this, you know what I mean? Because you do a lot of the setup videos in the group that we're in. But he could take some of that and put it on LinkedIn, because there'll be someone, you know what I mean? It'll get really niche.
I totally agree with you. And if you just be you and just give us a snippet and be consistent with the time that you post or the day that you post it, because I think that is more of a success than just doing random posts, because a lot of people just do random when they think about it, and I don't know you're coming on. Right. And now you're telling me to watch your video, and I'm like, I can't do that right now.
But see, because and I say that because he's already got stuff to use. It's not like he's got to go out and make content for LinkedIn. Mm-hmm. He's already got stuff he can use just by explaining the light. Because you did one about the light, and I love that he did one about having the light here and the blind. So that kind of stuff people may want to know over there. And if you do a snip, don't do the whole video. Just do a snip, 30 seconds, 60 seconds.
Okay, so I'm talking about the content makers, because I'm not sure what Safe House is, and that's not you, that's me. But the content makers, I think is, if I understand what your content makers is, it is helping people to create content for their different platforms, or you're just giving us information.
Content makers is the group, right? That I'm talking about, right, Jason? Because he's got a private group where he goes in and talks about different things, and it's not for public. But I feel like it is some of it. Because, Jason, because we've talked about, he's like, he doesn't want to, do all that publicly. But some of that stuff that you do, that video, you can reuse as a LinkedIn post and be the person, right? Do a page for content makers at LinkedIn, but tie it, if you want to tie it in to the Safe House stuff you're doing. But make it where it's not too technical, but it's not, but it's something, okay, hey, this, you like the video you did with the light. I mean, a lot of people don't know that. So that little explanation that he did, I thought that was really good as something to draw people in.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to do little stuff to draw people in.
And it's just little breadcrumbs, like you always say. It's just something, oh, that was good. Can I get some more of this?
Because, see, this is the thing. A lot of people overthink the content. Don't overthink, I got to sit down and I got to have, this is outline 50 with this. Sometimes you just want to pull the phone out, and because his stuff is more conversational in the group and it's more easygoing, relaxed. But he could use some of that. He could use some of that and draw people in.
Yeah.
And then hit him with the, you got more? Yeah, here's more.
Yeah, see, he's got a content maker with 12,000 followers, but no engagement. I believe you will probably get more engagement.
I'm looking it up.
On just by talking little things, the people who are following you, just give them some nuggets or something that they can follow. I like the tips, whatever tip you have for the day.
But I mean, do that on LinkedIn as you, under you.
Yeah, and just say, hey, I'm Jason, and I run content makers, and here's today's tip. I'm tuning in for that, because if it's going to make it easier for me to give me ideas and things.
And but see, what I'm saying, he even has the video where he doesn't have to do an intro. He could just type that in.
Yep, and put the video in there.
As the text, and then the video starts, because he's already got, what I'm saying is, don't make any more content. He's got content.
Correct. But I would like to follow him. And then if you give me one tip a week, I think it would be cool.
Yeah.
Because I know where to find you. Okay, I'm going to LinkedIn. because I have a plan now. So on Monday, Tuesday, or whatever, I'm going to LinkedIn to check in on Jason.
Right. You're right. Because what Fran is saying, do it consistently, like do it on a Tuesday or whatever day you pick. It's like a tip for that day. And people are going to know that every Tuesday or every Wednesday, whatever day you pick, that Jason's got a snippet of a video to explain the problem with lighting or the this with that or the sound or whatever. You know what I mean? Because he's got the content over there.
Yes, and it's just a tip, and it doesn't. We know. Okay, we trust you.
Yes.
I don't trust all them other people because I don't know those other people.
Right, and the trust is coming because you're doing, like Fran said, you're doing the tip every week, and you're over there constantly putting stuff up or getting into. Should it link back to the Facebook page? The thing is, what do you want them to do when they discover you on LinkedIn? I mean, when they discover that information, that's the key. What do you want them to do? Do you want them to sign up for something? Do you want them to contact you?
Or, if you got questions,
right?
If you got questions about your setup, hit me up here.
Right. So where is your link to? Think about where do you want them to go? What is the end goal for that? And we can, Jason, you and I can talk about that off camera.
And I just think it would be lovely to follow somebody knowledgeable.
Wherever you want to get the most, what are you trying? The goal is to build up a list, to get more clients, to get more. So that's what we need to talk about. And then we can figure out which way you want it to go. But it's just, you're going to do, yes, because you and I, so just, reach out to me. But I love this conversation about LinkedIn because LinkedIn is always an afterthought with me, even though it shouldn't be. And like Jason is saying, that people are thinking LinkedIn is for, I'm looking for a job, the network, but it's also an open area that, like for him, he can go in and put his content and be known as the person.
Yeah, that is what I'm saying.
On a corporate business level.
And the people are going to respond. I went back over there to LinkedIn today. Like I said, I hadn't been there in, like a month. I had birthday greetings and people are, hey, how you been? And I was like, whoa, okay, maybe I need to come back over here and talk to these people.
Yes, that's what I mean. It's just one of those things where LinkedIn always goes to the bottom, where I think it's more of a niche thing, especially for business to business combos and business getting to know people who may know someone that can put you in touch with another business that you and I can't do business, but I know someone you can. That's a great. Turning into that. It used to be, let me put my resume up and get a job at a corporation. But now it's turning into more of that.
A referral where I could, because there's something that I cannot do, I can refer.
I know, right.
Yeah.
But you have to be there with your content, is what I'm saying.
Because they're going to go check your content out just like people do now.
Just jump in with the ads. Like I was saying about instead of waiting in and people want to jump. You may want to jump in with just the content because you got it already. It's just, like I said, little snippets because people are in the mood of, especially on, don't think LinkedIn business, they're going to watch a whole presentation. They want a little snippet of something.
The same rules apply for all platforms except for YouTube. YouTube, you can have longer content.
Right.
But on Twitter, if I'm getting an ad, it needs to be short and to the point. If it's going on Facebook, this content is longer because we're doing a show. But if this was something we were doing, normally it should be a little snippet, like 2 to 5 minutes or something.
Just a little, like I said, breadcrumbs.
Yes.
You gotta know what your audience likes, like on YouTube. If they like longer stuff, you give them longer stuff. If they don't like longer, but you're going to know that from analytics and from
conversations. And see, that's the thing. I put together something for our real estate agents to give them a kind of an idea of when they contact people. 1, you want to tell them, hey, I'm back in the business, just want to say hi. 2, tell them a trend that's going on in the area. 3, give them a tip.
Yes.
And then
give.
Just give them a tip. But you're not asking them about business, or
No.
don't. The first call is not asking for something.
Remember, I said in another show about, when you go to the grocery store on Saturday, they got the chicken organic sausage or whatever the new thing is, and there's samples, because they want you have to give them the taste of it before they go and buy the sausage, because they don't know if they like it by looking at it in the pack, in the frozen section or wherever it is. If you're there to give them the taste of it, and this is the thing about people, I don't want to give away free. What do you mean you don't want to give away free? You're not giving away. You're getting people close to you. You're getting them into your audience and building that audience so they will buy when you're ready to sell them something.
And they know you because they've had conversation with you, and I get to know. Like, we have never met TJ in person, but we know her.
Yes. But see, that's because we're here doing the show every week, every day. There's a show going on.
Yeah.
And people would say, well, what you giving away for free? What are we giving away for free?
Information that's going to help you.
Right. Because there'll be a point down the line where there'll be something to get involved with, or services, or I need to do business with you. What that comes down the line. I mean, you don't automatically jump out, buy. You don't do that. Where do they do that? Where they automatically jump out and go, buy.
Yeah, that does not work.
Right. When you go to the department store, especially when you go in the perfume section, are they jumping out saying buy? No. Do you want a sample? Do you want to? And they spritz it on you or give you a little card.
Yep. They're not. It's always the give comes first.
Right. While they're in the perfume section, while they're there walking through, do you want a makeover? And the makeovers in the makeup set? Sure. You go over there, they do the makeover because you're going to buy the makeup. Because the person the makeup artist is going to do you so well. Oh, I got to buy this, that, and that. That's mine. So a lot of people don't want to do it. And I'm thinking, I don't know. You're missing out.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
And it's always a conversation first. Because you never buy anything without going into the store. You went into a particular grocery store because somebody told you about something they did. Or you went in there and you said, I'm gonna go check it out just to see what's going on. But you never just went in there to buy or do anything without some interaction first.
Right. Do you buy a car without the test drive? You just go, give me that car.
And then if the person that's doing the test drive is not so nice, you'll be like, okay, no, let's go to a different dealership.
Exactly. But there is a give. There is a give. To wrap this up, because it's running out the time.
Yes, it's time.
To wrap this up, it's the give part of it. So the giving part is what you want to focus on. And also taking it back to the GDPR, you want to just be mindful of taking care of people's data. That's really what this is about.
Yeah.
And just for us here in the United States, just have the cookie policy and the privacy policy for now. And like I said, on the 25th, we'll see what comes up. We'll see what if you do, if you have an e-commerce store, you may want to do this. Or if you have an opt-in, I also heard that if you have an opt-in, like a book or something, that you have to give them the book even if they opt out or something. But all of those things are going to come into play as we get over the date of May 25th.
Yeah.
The GDPR. So it's just, like I said, information. This is not a legal consultation. We're not lawyers. I'm just giving you information that I know from sources that I know online. So we're all, in the beginning stages of finding out what to do and how to do it and what's going to happen if we don't.
Yep.
That's basically what it is. Okay?
Wow, this has been excellent, TJ. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I'm glad we had the conversation with Jason and all the replay viewers. Again, thank you for watching. If you have any kind of questions, opinions, anything, put them in the comments. We will
always be watching.
Yeah.
And monitoring everybody who's going to see this on YouTube. Thank you for that. Hey, go over to our YouTube page and subscribe. We appreciate that. TJ is here every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. on the West Coast. And she'll be back next week, and we'll be talking some more things. She also will be on Friday when we're talking tech with the Tech Divas. And Jason, you can be an honorary tech dude too. Come on over Fridays, same time. And we will see you tomorrow with Coach Karen. Want to say thank you so much for tuning in. This was a great conversation. Live and replay viewers, make it a great Tuesday, and we shall see you tomorrow.
Yes. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.